ज्ञानाञ्जनतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तव तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्येश्वरम्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। I would request all of you to repeat after me. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. Now we will say one prayer. This is to invoke auspiciousness, to seek the blessings of Nar Narayan Rishi, and to please Bhagavad Gita, especially Srimad Bhagavatam, so that okay, the right words in the right mood come out, and okay, it really purifies all of us. I seek all of you to pray in a prayerful mood, so that okay, you are giving your most precious time. My spiritual master, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, says that okay, if we lose money, then in that case something is lost. But then okay, in course of time we may again get chance to earn money. If we lose health, then in that case there is still chance that okay, we may still get health back in some later point of our life. But if we lose our time, that is something like we are never going to get back. So you have invested your valuable time. We are here, and this every moment of this time is very, very precious. So let's make the best use of our time. Let's very, very sincerely pray from the bottom of our heart that in this duration that we are together, let's have this sankalpa that please, I am very fallen, but by your prayers, by praying to our acharyas, let those, let we meditate and glorify Supreme Lord and His devotees, by which like, we are able to make progress in the path of bhakti, so that we are able to please Krishna, so that we are able to please Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयो मुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna. I'm firstly very grateful to all of you for your valuable time. So we were reading the Bhagavad Gita, and there was a gap because I had to travel. Let us reconvene from where we left. We were at Bhagavad Gita. We were planning to start with uh, Bhagavad Gita's 56th verse from the second chapter. Just to remind us all where we were, I just want to. How, how does this work? Give me one moment here. Okay, synonym removed. Hmm. So I just want to just do a recap. What is happening here is Arjun is asking Krishna that Krishna, you told me about this that, that Krishna consciousness is very important, and you're telling. See, before that, what is happening is Krishna is telling Arjun in verse 30, 53rd that when your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas, when it remains fixed in the trance of self realization, then you will have attained divine consciousness. That means when you are not shaken, okay, when something is happening, you are not shaken and you are not going after the flowery things that, okay, ये करेंगे तो वो मिलेगा, ये पूजा कर लो, ये विधि कर लो, ये यज्ञ कर लो, then आपको ये मिलेगा. When you are not running after all these things and you are fixed, like, okay, Krishna, how can I understand you? Then in that case, you will be in that divine consciousness. So Arjun says that, okay, okay, Krishna, I understand this, but can you tell me what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in transcendence? What are the symptoms of that person who is always absorbed in this? And how does he speak? What is his language? How does he sit? How does he walk? He's asking the symptoms of that person who is absorbed in Krishna consciousness. This is Arjun's question. So, in the subsequent verse, which we discussed last time, before we um, had the break, that was Krishna was saying that here, O Parth, so here the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is saying, O Parth, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification, means what? That is which arise from mental concoction, and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. We discussed this in detail, but just to do a recap, what does this mean? That when a man gives up all kinds of desire for sense gratification, अत्यंद्रिय प्रीति वांछा तारे कहे काम कृष्णेन्द्रिय प्रीति वांछा धरे प्रेम नाम. When we have this desire that, okay, see, Krishna is giving us instructions in Bhagavad Gita, but those people who have desire for sense gratification means what? Like, okay, oh, Krishna said all these things, that is all fine, but in my situation I will do this, right? We get this feeling, right? That, okay, I want to do this, I can't do that, like what Krishna is saying, I will do this. That means what? हम अपने अपने हैं. We are on our own. Okay. uh, if I have to eat food, Krishna says have prasad. Okay. Arey, how will I get prasad? Oh, what a big challenge it is. Okay, let me do like this. Like, it is like, what can I do somehow for for my, like, whatever satisfies me, I am not able to satisfy Krishna at this point of time. Yeah. If that is our thing, then in that case, कृष्ण इज सेइंग व्हेन ए मैन गिव्स अप ऑल दोज डिजायर्स फॉर सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन, अपने को एंजॉयमेंट करने का टेंडेंसी जब छोड़ देगा, एंड वेयर डज दैट एंजॉयमेंट टेंडेंसी कम फ्रॉम? It arises from our own mental concoction. We thought, okay, array, that is not possible, that is not possible, let me do this thing only, whatever I'm doing. Okay. so and when his mind, thus purified, finds satisfaction in the self alone, that means self alone is like, okay, there is this concept of, in the self is atma. When the atma is satisfied it finds satisfied when we are, when we go deeper into our understanding of self and the super self, when we try to understand Krishna basically. So when our mind gets purified, it finds satisfaction in Krishna consciousness. Then he is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So there are two stages here. I want to just rephrase this. One is we come outside of that purview of sense gratification. That means we're trying to enjoy based on what is good for us. And secondly, when our mind gets purified, when the mind gets purified and it finds satisfaction in Krishna consciousness, then that person is said to be in pure transcendental consciousness. So f- when the sense gratifications are given up, slowly what happens is when we, at that time, when we start chanting, our mind starts getting purified. And that is why, like, okay, when we come to chant, like, okay, with the, see, everyone who is chanting, right, through the chanting, we are all getting purified. But now there is one thing here. I was hearing from my spiritual master this. What is important? So, my spiritual master is always Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He says that if you put in front of a hungry person, okay, if you, what would the hungry person be satisfied with? Anyone can say that? Yes, Lalman Prabhu, what do you think the hungry person will be satisfied with?
Hungry person will be satisfied if he gets food.
Right, if he gets food. Now, if a hungry person is there, he's is desperately hungry, but in front of him, you give him 1 crore rupees filled with all those 500 rupees notes, but he has no way to to buy food anywhere in that vicinity. You know, sometimes like, okay, those natural disasters happens, earthquake is there, this, that, like so many things happen, right? So during that time when there is no food available, you give that person 1 crore rupees, he's dying out of hunger. Srila Prabhupada says he will, if he can, he will try to eat that rupee also. But will that satisfy his hunger? No. He needs only food. And if there is a, let's say, s- a spiritual master also gives the example, you give him like a very expensive necklace, but what is the use of that necklace?
No use.
There's no use.
No
He's,
use.
this person is looking for food only. So, and he will be satisfied when he gets that food. So when we have that intensity that I want Krishna only, okay, when we have that intensity, I want nothing else but I want Krishna. Then in that case, what happens? I'm just muting others. So what happens is then then in that case, when we have that intensity, and with that intensity, when we sit to chant, right, that Krishna, I want to please you today. I want to please you every moment with whatever I'm doing. I want to be fixed up. Like, okay, I want to become a pure devotee, no matter whatever time it takes. Like, because I'm coming from a very, very conditioned, like, okay, background. Okay, so it does not matter what time it takes. If I have to wait birth after birth to become a pure devotee, I'm willing to wait, but I want to serve you. I do not, birth after birth, I have always been put in this lap of Maya. And over there, I'm just trying to enjoy, like, okay. And what is the result of this enjoyment? I am forced into this suffering. We have, see, His Grace Amarinda Prabhu was here. He told one very powerful statement. One devotee was sharing, and when I heard that, it was like, it was very, very penetrating. It penetrated into my heart. He said that, Prabhu, he told this devotee, and when he's telling to this devotee, it is not for that devotee, it is for all of us. He's telling, Prabhu, I want to share one thing. They said that, okay, this was nice class, because we all find like, okay, after hearing we find that, okay, classes are nice, like, okay, we feel, and when we get this taste for hearing, That is a very good sign. So he said, like, very nice class, Prabhu. Then Prabhu said, like, see, Prabhu, I will tell one realization. His Grace Amarendra Prabhu is saying, we all have to be very sincere in Krishna consciousness. And sincerity means we should be one pointed that we want Krishna. Otherwise, what happens is we may come and we may enjoy this class, we may hear everything, but nothing may go penetrate into our heart. Nothing in our life has changed, and we continue our life like that. Then let me tell you, you are getting this chance because in the past life also someone may have told it, and we were sitting like this only, we were trying to hear. Because out of great fortune that has come into our life, we get a chance like this. And if we don't change, then in our next life also we'll be sitting and someone will be telling us like this. And we have to go through this material situations again and again. So it is very urgent that we wake up to this. Every moment is precious. Every moment is ticking and it is very precious. So going back, Krishna is telling Arjun, like, okay, what are those two qualities that are required um, for one to be pure in transcendental consciousness? One is to give up this sense gratification, and another is to find satisfaction in Krishna consciousness. See, if we see, we all find satisfaction. We all find satisfaction. One could be in material consciousness, one could be in Krishna consciousness. The difference is material consciousness, we can get satisfaction because if we get a good job, or if someone gives us something that is unexpected, someone treats us well, okay. But and in Krishna consciousness, we'll find the joy in our heart, okay, when we have the darshan of the Lord, when we see some reciprocation from devotees, when we are actually trying to please Krishna. If we live, uh, I was hearing from a spiritual master, he was saying, his holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he says that, see, we can hear all these classes and this can go on and on and on, but a the key thing from this class, we should take the essence of these classes is one thing, that is, how can I please Krishna in every situation that we are put in, good or bad, okay. We have to understand that this is the mercy of the Lord, that we are put into this situation. And in this situation, if we are crying out like, okay, oh, I am in this situation, then we are losing the opportunity. In this situation, if our question is, Krishna, in this situation, how can I serve you better? Okay, then what happens is, then we progress into the next level. How can we serve from my this condition? Then we progress into the next level. Srila Prabhupada used to say this line, and this line is something that always touched my heart. He says, make the best use of the bad bargain. In material world, we are put into a bad bargain because no matter who we are, we'll be placed into a situation where there will be some things will be unfavorable, there'll be something that will be favorable. Right? There is Krishna gives us some chance that is favorable, and Krishna gives us some chance that is unfavorable. We have to be very grateful for what Krishna gave us favorable, and we have to cry out that we want to please Krishna with whatever we have. If someday Krishna gets pleased, then in that case, he will give us opportunity to serve. So, having said that, let's move on to the text number 56. I wanted to give this recap so that, like, okay, we are all back into that sync with where we were, and we are able to take it with that consciousness. I'll be very honest. Um, When I went for this Kartik Yatra, I saw devotees, they are so incredibly sincere, very honestly saying, like, okay, see, giving a class from one place is one thing, but I was seeing that they carry so much realization. They carry so much love for Guru Maharaj. They carry so much love for Prabhupada. If you like every devotee that I was seeing there, like, okay, they were like, okay, so exalted. And I was thinking, like, okay, just if I could be a dust at their lotus feet, that itself is success of this life. Because it is it is with great fortune that we can go to, that we can get the association of devotees. So we should be very grateful for the time that we get in association with devotees. We should try to appreciate each other. We should try to inspire each other. When we talk also in devotees, right? When we associate with devotees, that means we should try to share what we have read, what we have heard at that time. Okay, then we are giving Krishna consciousness. If we are just talking about material dukkha, okay, there can be material dukkha discussion, because we are in this material world, there could be suffering. But what is the end point of the suffering is how can we take shelter of Krishna? That should be our thing, takeaway from this, because we should try to resolve the problems, but at the same time, like, how can we take shelter of Krishna? If we think that, okay, if we try to just focus on the problem and coming out of the problem, then what will happen is we may come out of the problem, but we may lose the opportunity to get the essence from there, or our opportunity to take shelter of Krishna. So that is something that I was really contemplating on. So let's go to this one, text 56, very related to what we are talking about. Dukheshva anudvigna manaha sukeshu vigata spriha वीत राग भय क्रोध स्थित धीर मुनिरुच्यते. Krishna is saying this. Translation and purport are by our beloved founder Acharya Nityalila Pravishta Abhay Charanarvind Shila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada ki jai. See, uh, Krishna is telling Arjuna, one who is not disturbed in mind, even amidst the threefold miseries, or elated when there is happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a sage of steady mind. Wow. So Krishna says the word Muni means, here the word uh, Tita Dhir Muni Ruchyate. So Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is saying the word Muni means one who can agitate his mind in various ways for mental speculation without coming to a factual conclusion. It is said that every Muni has a different angle of vision, and unless a Muni differs from another Munis, he cannot be called a Muni in the strict sense of the term. So you go to one Muni that, okay, like, इसका क्या करें, मैं ये प्रॉब्लम से गुजर रहा हूँ, they will give one solution. You go to another Muni, he will give another solution. You do this yagya, you do this puja. You go to another Muni, he will say, Are, let me look at your chart. Ah, you need one anguti for this. Right? So these are all mental concoction. Okay. And so they, and Srila Prabhupada is saying that, okay, every Muni has a different angle of vision. Unless one Muni differs from another Muni, he cannot be called a Muni in the strict sense of the term. Na shavrishir yasya matam na bhinnam. It is coming from Mahabharat's Vanaparva 313.117. But a Stita Dhir Muni. In this, see, here Krishna is saying Stita Dhir Muni Uchyate means Stita Dhir ऐसे मत है Stita Dhir Muni का. So ऐसे मत है स्थित धीर मुनि के बारे में. So like that. But a Stita Dhir Muni is not like a general Muni. So here what Lord is mentioning Stita Dhir Muni is different from an ordinary Muni. How is it different? The Stita Dhir Muni is always in Krishna consciousness. For he has exhausted all his business of creative speculation. He is called Prashanta Nishesha Muno Rathantar, or one who has surpassed the stage of mental speculation and has come to the conclusion that Lord Krishna or Vasudev is everything. भगवान जी जो है वही सब है. वासुदेव सर्वमिति स महात्मा सुदुर्लभ. He is called a Muni fixed in mind. He is fixed up his mind on Krishna. Such a fully Krishna conscious person is not at all disturbed by the onslaughts of the threefold miseries. He is not disturbed by this Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Atmik, Adi Bhautik, and Adi Devik. Problem due to the body and mind, problem due to other living entities, problem due to natural disaster. We talked about it multiple times. So, one who is a Sthitadhir Muni, that person is not at all disturbed by this. And how does he not get disturbed? So, Srila Prabhupada is saying, for he accepts all miseries as the mercy of the Lord, thinking himself only worthy of more trouble due to his past misdeeds, as he sees that his miseries by the grace of the Lord are minimized to the lowest. We'll talk about this. Similarly, when he is happy, he gives credit to the Lord, thinking himself unworthy of the happiness. He realizes that it is due only due to the Lord's grace that he is in such a comfortable condition and able to render better service to the Lord. Very important point. Srila Prabhupada is saying that when a person goes through miseries, at that time he understands this is the mercy of the Lord. I deserve much worse, but ये तो भगवान की कृपा है. This is by the mercy of the Lord that I have to go through only this much. And when he gets good situation, when he is happy, he says, "Okay, Prabhu, this is by your mercy only I got it. There's no way I could have got this. I don't deserve this, but you are allowing me this so that I can serve you." So we should contemplate in our situation. What could be that? Sometimes our health may not be permitting, right, Lalmon Prabhu? So in that case, we should think that okay, if that is the case, if health is not permitting, then in that case, but still Krishna is allowing me to hear, to chant, to read. Sometimes, like, okay, our financially, we may not be in a position, but Krishna is arranging on a day-to-day basis, and we are stepping through. Sometimes our time may not be permitting, and we should understand that, okay, whatever time Krishna has given, every moment is precious. Let's use it for Krishna. Sometimes we may be away from devotees. So during that time, we should try to make the best use of whatever association we have. And for those of you who did not watch, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu was telling that, okay, he did not have association. I saw the note from Lalmohan Prabhu. With such gratitude, he responded back to this. Amarendra Prabhu, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, who is right now, he is traveling across the globe trying to spread Krishna consciousness on the instruction that has been given to him by his very beloved spiritual master, Param Pujya His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami. Param Pujya Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj is a Mahabhagavati. He is a disciple of our Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada instructed him that it's a beautiful let me tell you that pastime actually, because we can understand. One day, Srila Prabhupada actually was giving a class, and His Holiness Radha Govindas Goswami Maharaj was in that was over there. Actually, he was hearing. I believe it was in Sri Vrindavan Dham. So very next day, when Srila Prabhupada was giving the class, at the time Srila Prabhupada asked, "Who is sitting at the end of the class? Who is sitting behind the pillar?" So devotees went ahead and checked after the class. That was His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj. At that time, he was a brahmachari. So Srila Prabhupada called him and he asked, like, okay, why are you sitting behind the pillar? So Maharaj Ji says with intense humility that Srila Prabhupada, आप जो है वो क्लास इंग्लिश में लेते हो, कल आपने इंग्लिश में क्लास दिया था, अभी मुझे समझ में नहीं आया क्लास, क्योंकि मैं इंग्लिश मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा था, तो इसलिए मैं पिलर के पीछे बैठ गया, ये सोच के कि कहीं आप उस क्लास के बारे में अगर कुछ पूछ लो तो मुझे नहीं पता. So it was with so much humility that he said. And then Srila Prabhupada, once he was in the middle of the night, like he saw in the Brahmachari ashram, there was one light that was on. And asked, like, okay, who is that? Which, what is that particular, whose room is that? So devotee said that is the room of His Holiness Radha Govindas Goswami Maharaj. He was a brahmachari at that time. And then when Srila Prabhupada got to know that in the middle of the night also he was reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada became very happy. And Srila Prabhupada instructed Maharaj Ji that you read Bhagavatam and you spread the message of Bhagavatam. And Maharaj Ji took it to his heart. He he reads Bhagavatam. He started reading Bhagavatam 8 to 12 hours in a day. So that is the love, okay, that Maharaj Ji, and then he started doing Harikatha, and his Harikatha is famous across the globe. And my spiritual master, like His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, he says that I urge all the all the people, those who do not understand Hindi, whether they are from India or whether they are Russian, whether they are from America, whether they are from other countries like China or any other place, they should learn Hindi to hear the classes that His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj has given. So, so the disciple of that His Holiness Radha Govind Das Goswami Maharaj is His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, and he got the instruction from his spiritual master to spread this message of Bhagavad. So he was telling that when he went to his college, and I hope Meksham Prabhu you are able to hear this.
Yes, Prabhu.
So when he went to his college, His Grace Amarendra Prabhu, he said he was surrounded by, like, his roommates were all meat eaters, and they would eat pork. They they and His Holiness, His Grace Amrita Prabhu at that time, he came from India. Let me give you a background of His Grace Amrita Prabhu. His parents are devotees. When he was born into Krishna consciousness, and from his childhood, he got association of lot of devotees. And when he comes to US, at that time he sees that okay, he has no association. The nearest temple is 2 hours away, and to go that 2 hours, he has to change. He has to go into one train, then two buses and then walk in between and then walk further. And overall, it will take him 2.5 hours. But still, he did not give up hope. Still, he would go there once in a month to that temple. And what he would do is, for the for the remaining days that he's at home, there was no. This is few years back. At that time, this Zoom thing had not come up, so he would hear kirtan katha, and one of the kirtan that he hears was the kirtan by my spiritual master His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, especially from his Vrindavan Yatra in 2004 in Man Mandir. And what he would do is, in his room when he's alone, he would pull up the curtains and he would put this loud sound, and then he would also do loud kirtan, and he would dance alone as if he's with all the devotees in the Man Mandir. And he was telling that, okay, what I have today, I did not have those association at that time, but what I was desiring intensely during that time, by taking this association, I have all of it today. This is how Krishna reciprocates to sincerity. If we make the best use of what we have, because these are, if we can only walk in the footsteps of, like, okay, such great devotees, and they are showing us the path, like, okay, of how we can, because we can think, like, okay, I don't have this, I can't do this, I can't do that. But if we can just focus on what we have, and I shared this His Grace Amrinda Prabhu's video on our group. So if those of you who have missed it, I would highly encourage, because hearing from the lips of such great devotees is is very purifying internally. He is personally telling about his situation. So we should all make the best advantage of the opportunity that we have. Whatever we are being allowed by the Lord, we should be extremely, extremely grateful. Krishna consciousness is very, very rare thing. It is very rare thing in human life. If we look at people around, most people are not interested. If we have taken slightest shelter of Krishna, then we should be hankering as to how we can make advancement. And advancement will come through sincerity. Whatever we have been given, if we are grateful for that, and if we are trying for more, if we are trying to sincerely chant, if we are trying to sincerely come in the association of devotees and chant, because alone means small tuni bulb. Okay, when we come in the association of devotees, that means, like, okay, there are other souls who are enlightened. Okay, and when we take shelter together in Kali Yuga, His Grace Gaurang Prabhu says that there is no Shakti that works. There is only Sangha Shakti. Because if five fingers come together, then it becomes Mutti. But if one finger is there, okay, can it go and do boxing? Obviously, this will break. Okay. So Gaurang Prabhu says this. He said this in 2017 Kartik Yatra, that when five fingers come together, that is the Shakti of Kali Yuga, Sangha Shakti. We have to take the association of devotees where we get uplifted. Association doesn't mean that, okay, we come together, we chit chat, and we just just be there. We don't glorify Krishna. No, we should try to see that, okay, how we can glorify Krishna in that association. Then it becomes a real devotee association. If we are thinking of our enjoyment only, then in that case we have a long way to go. So that is the point that Srila Prabhupada was saying. And so he told about the um, how the Muni reacts, Sitadhir Muni, he reacts at the with joy and at the time of miseries. And then he says that for the service of the Lord, That devotee is always daring and active and is not influenced by attachment or aversion. So the devotee is always willing to serve. If it is possible in his capacity, the devotee is trying to do everything possible. So sometimes Srila Prabhupada went outside of his capacity. See, think about it. If we look at this example, right, I remember Srila Prabhupada. See, Srila Prabhupada, he is the most daring person I can think of because when he came to US, he did not have like, okay, a travel ticket. Okay, he went and begged to Srimati Moraji for this for the ticket, and he got where in cargo ship. See, think about it. Will we go in a cargo truck from here to Michigan to nearest state Ohio? Will not go. Cargo truck, okay, we're talking about, not ship. See, ship. Srila Prabhupada is in advanced stage. He is taking a cargo ship. He is going there. He does not have a place to stay in US also. He did not even carry any food items also. See, like if I am there, like I'll tell you, like honestly, I will make sure that there are a few at least food items to carry. At least next days I can sustain there. Srila Prabhupada did not take it actually. He did not carry a single item. The ship, the cargo ship left from Calcutta, and when it went to um, south, I think I believe it was Chennai, where where it came next. Captain Pandey got down from the ship. He saw that Srila Prabhupada is not eating anything. He asked like why he's not eating anything. Captain Pandey got down. He brought some vegetables, some potatoes, like not vegetables, but potatoes and some other things so that Srila Prabhupada can cook and have. Srila Prabhupada, like he's so daring, he lived with meat eaters. He said that okay, his greatest he was like it pained in his heart to keep his prasadam next to like where beef and pork is kept in the refrigerator because he's keeping Krishna prasad there. See, when he made such sacrifices, right? He was I don't know. Like I want to tell this like because when Srila Prabhupada came here, right in US, he was going and standing in line in those public toilets, which are where you operate with public with those coins. He did not say, Arey, I am a Jagat Guru. Please give me line there in the front. Like, no, he was waiting in queue. I mean, can you imagine, like, okay, is is a senior citizen waiting there? Not just that, like it is in New York winter time. He did not even have proper winter clothes. The kind of sacrifice he's doing, right? Because of that, Krishna is reciprocating. And and why is he doing? Because he's doing it for us, people like us who are going to suffer in future in material world. Somehow, Krishna, please bestow your mercy. He came and prayed to Shishi Radha Kunjabiri that the most fallen people will come here. Please accept their services, Krishna. Please be most kind and merciful to them. He prayed like this. That is how Shishi Radha Kunjabiri manifested in this mode. That is how he he was spread. He was giving everyone this holy name so that like okay, we all become Krishna conscious because this is Mahaprabhu came to give this. This is not any this is not any name. I shared one lecture of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada is saying there is some rascal from rascal from India who says Coca-Cola name is also same as Hare Krishna. No, it is not. You say Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola, Coca-Cola all your life, there is no benefit. But if you keep chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, there is enormous benefit. कलेर दोष निधे राजन एक हस्ती एक महान गुना कीर्तना देव कृष्ण से मुक्त संग से जायते. Is the same benefit. Okay, in Satyug, people used to go and meditate in forest. In Dwapar Yug, people used to go and do these fire sacrifices, or rather in Treta Yug, they used to do this fire sacrifice. In Dwapar Yug, they used to do this detailed deity worship. But Now we are not capable of doing those meditation. We cannot lift our one leg and be like this position. For 60,000 years we won't live also, like what Hiranyakashipu did. But just by sevan mukhe jivado, just by using our tongue properly, two things: for chanting Hare Krishna and for eating Krishna Prasad. By this austerity, we will get purified. And how can the mood of purification come? If we attentively hear from the proper source. Srila Prabhupada is again and again telling, and this thing is very important. I want to share one um, one class that I heard from my spiritual master. I thought this is very, very important for all of us to hear, that how we can come out of this cycle, of this dangerous cycle of birth and death, and how we can get internally purified. How much important it is to hear from a pure devotee. It is very, very important. And what are the different kind of struggles, how our mind plays with us, all this he shares. And I will share this, it's an audio, so if you can, please hear this. It will really, I will say, if you get even one thing out of that, it will really transform your life. So the name of the class is the disease of envy, and I will share that. It is a link. It's not a YouTube video. It's an audio you have to download and you have to hear. But I honestly, I highly recommend you hearing that. That would be homework from this particular class. And there is also one um, one drama that I will share. The name of this drama is Mahashano, like how different things in our life take away our time, like okay, different when I share this, you can watch that drama. It will be an enlightening thing. So those two things you can consider as a homework from this class. So then next, finally we'll conclude this. um, Srila Prabhupada says, attachment means accepting things for one's own sense gratification, and detachment is the absence of such sensual attachment. So when we get things like, okay, oh, mujhe ye chahiye, like I just need this, okay, but we forget Krishna in between, right? Then, then that is attachment. That kind of attachment gives us misery. It may give us, we may think it is giving us temporary happiness, but it is eventually going to give us misery. And detachment is like when we try to bring Krishna in between. Okay, how can I serve Krishna? If we are thinking of this, then slowly it will create detachment. Then we will eventually be happy. Eventually we'll be peaceful. But one fixed in Krishna consciousness has neither attachment nor detachment because his life is dedicated to the service of the Lord. So when we slowly start doing things for the pleasure of Krishna, slowly what will happen is Krishna will arrange such that he will build that mood. If we have this one mood at all times, Krishna, how can I serve you? How can I please you at this time? How can I please you at this time? And always praying this one. This will sincerely transform our heart into pure devotion. When we get pure devotion, then what happens? Prabhupada says in the next slide, consequently, he is not at all angry, even when his attempts are unsuccessful. We become angry, right? Sometimes we become frustrated. So that person is not affected. Success or no success, a Krishna conscious person is always steady in his determination because he wants to serve. मुझे इसमें से कुछ नहीं चाहिए. Krishna, if you are giving success, that is your success. That is your credit. If you are giving failure, that is also your arrangement. I am just trying to do my best, so please allow me to do the best. And it is easy to say that, but when we start applying these simple things, then in that case we can experience that. So with that, I will conclude. I know we ran a little bit more, but if you have any question or any comments, we can take that, or else we can conclude here. Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय. जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदी. हरि हरि बोल. um, can I share one thing, like okay, just a 2 minute thing, like, okay, which really touched my heart from the yatra. See, I was telling about this time, right? And devotion to the Lord. I met one devotee during the yatra, and somehow I felt like, okay, this devotee was very simple. Okay, and I was hankering to get the association of this devotee. He's not a very popular devotee or something, but he's a very simple, like he was also doing the yatra. Like, okay, I somehow felt very attracted towards the devotee. So I spoke to him and I asked him that, oh, where are you from? And all that, like how we connect, right? So I just connected to this devotee, and he asked me a few things. So I was sharing from my personal life, and uh, then at one point of time, he said, Prabhu, can I share one thing from my life that really inspired me? And I said, yes, Prabhu, please. And he told me one instance, please, my dear devotees, please hear this very, very attentively. He said that, Prabhu, I came to this path of bhakti, but I'm like, he's from a very simple background. He's from the rural area in West Bengal. So his 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 parents, sorry, his sister was diagnosed with cancer, and she had a she had a family. She had her husband. She had a, she had a son whose age was I think 7 8 years, like that. And initially the doctors, like, they said, like, okay, she will pass away actually because there's absolutely no hope. So now think about this middle-aged lady, like, okay, in her 30s, right? Just put yourself in that situation. What will be the ideal thing that will come to the mind of the lady, because she has a family, especially she's a child, right? So she would be very concerned about that. Now this lady, the sister, was getting association from her brother from the past. So when she got diagnosed with cancer, right? You know what her prayer was? Her prayer was not that, Krishna, please give me a healthy life, this, that. Wouldn't it be a natural thing? Like, okay, please restore my health. Please, I want to spend more time with my family, this, that, right? None of these. Her only prayer to the Supreme Lord, Srila Prabhupada, was that, Prabhupada, O Krishna, O Srimati Radharani, please bless me so that whatever time I have, I'm able to chant the rounds. Whatever time you're giving me, I just want to chant. So now, um, this was her constant prayer. Now, after some time, she asked her brother that, and they would talk on the phone. And this brother stays, like, okay, in Middle East. So this she asked her brother that, okay, can you tell me, brother, like, okay, how can I um, cry while chanting? So because I've heard that if we cry for Krishna, then then in that case we can really please Krishna. So the brother said, see, what I have heard, I can tell you. Okay, I have heard that if we want to cry for Krishna, um, i- if we are unable to cry for Krishna, then in that case we should cry that we are unable to cry for Krishna. Okay, we should cry that we are unable to cry for Krishna, and with that mood we should chant. That's all the brother told. Okay, after some time, the sister called her up and sister said that, okay, oh brother, what you have told me is like amazing. What Srila Prabhupada has said is amazing. Like this is the most amazing thing. Like, okay. So then the brother was saying that, okay, oh, I just shared with her like, okay, what I have heard, but it seemed like she has realized it. I have not realized it yet. Then what happened? The brother went home actually. He went to this rural part, and then one day he would hear from His Grace Radhesham Prabhu. And the sister, like, okay, she would get all these quotes, right? You get one liner quote or something like that, right? One sentence like that. You get those quotes from Radhesham Prabhu now on the internet, like many people share on WhatsApp. So she would get these quotes. That one line of quote, English quote, right? She would take like, okay, um, several minutes to kind of translate, because this sister, like, she had not studied English. She knew ABCD, basic thing. Okay, she had not studied English. So, like, one word she will read, and okay, what does this mean? What does this mean? Like that, she would do for a few years that she was doing like this. And she never heard like classes of Radhesham Prabhu, because in the rural places, like, okay, internet, so many lack of facilities will be there. Whatever classes of Srila Prabhupada, this those are available in the record. This is, I'm talking about few years back. So those were available. They would hear those only. Now, the brother put on this class of Radhesham Prabhu, and the sister said, can I also sit in here? And she's in her cancer situation. The brother said, yes, please, but will you understand anything? She said, I just want to hear. Can I hear that? So they heard this class together. And at the end of this class, the sister said, this is such an amazing class what Radhesham Prabhu gave. The brothers asked her, okay, did you understand like what Radhesham Prabhu said? And the brother thought, okay, maybe at least 2 3 points if she has understood, then great, right? So this sister said, yeah, I could understand this time, like, okay, what Prabhu was saying. Then brother asked, like, can you tell what you heard? So the brother says, this is the brother saying that she explained the entire class, and with complete realizations, she was sharing this. The brother said, I could not capture what she was capturing. From hearing, she had absorbed herself in the class, although she did not know the language. So it goes back to this saying that we started with, like, okay, if we are hungry for something, then we'll really take it, will absorb us. But if we are taking something cheaply, then in that case, what will happen is we will not be able to absorb that. So this really moved me. Right now, the sister is in such a position that, like, okay, anyone who, like, she is bedridden, if she has to even move sides, right, someone has to move the side for her, but she's constantly chanting and crying for Krishna. And she's saying that there's nothing like this. I mean, I was moved from within actually. I was thinking that, okay, this is Krishna consciousness. She has transcended what her current situation is. She's not thinking of what her situation, cancer, that she will die next moment. This is not at all her concern. She has one pointed attention on, like, okay, how will I make progress? That's it. Okay, how will I get Krishna? My dear devotees, I want to tell one thing last out of this. What I really got out of this is, it does not matter what our situation is. If we are sincere, we'll try to put our utmost best, because we know that this is the time I have, and I want to utilize my time for Krishna. If we know that, okay, we are going to work, we are driving, we will think that, okay, what is it that how can I channelize it towards Krishna? Because every moment of my time is ticking. See, some of us, like, okay, we we know we get into. I'll tell one more realization. There is just 3 4 days back, I was on the road. I was driving to work, and suddenly there was a, like sometimes, like many cars, like, okay, they kind of, there's a traffic jam building, then all the cars starts braking. So I saw there was one car right behind from me. This lady was talking on the phone. Okay. and and suddenly, like this, as soon as the car starts braking, right, she loses control on her car, like, and like this she starts, and she's right behind me. I can see the car coming. Okay, and the car is out of control. And it comes and it brakes right, whatever, few inches away from me. In that moment, I'll be very honest, I could not remember Krishna. Okay, what a sorry state of affairs. But I got one realization immediately after the car stopped. I thought, like, Krishna saved me in this. But then I thought, like, right now I could see how Krishna saved me. But there are so many moments where I am unable to see how Krishna is saving me, how Krishna is protecting me. But it is a fact that Krishna is protecting me every moment. If I could just realize this, then every moment will be so grateful. See, like, I am taking Tulsi Maharani. See, the Tulsi is so dear to Krishna. You know why? Because Tulsi Maharani, she gives this new leaves every time she is giving these fresh leaves. She does not even want to directly serve Krishna. She wants to be an instrument in our hands. We will do a chain of Tulsi leaves and we will offer it to Krishna. Okay. She is giving fresh things. Like, okay. And what is our qualification? Like, okay, like me, a past meat eater. He comes and he takes. I'll give it to Tulsi, give it to Krishna. This, can you imagine the level of humility? And this, her position is always at the lotus feet of Krishna, because that is Tulsi Maharani. So when we offer Tulsi Maharani, we can see, like, Krishna, Tulsi Maharani, you are giving me an opportunity. This is such a priceless. My spiritual master says that if we are offering Tulsi Maharani to the lotus feet of Krishna every day, that is first class devotion. If we bathe Krishna along with that, that is even beyond that. And then, okay, flute, other things, dressing, this, that, those are all additional things. But even if we are offering tulsi leaf at the lotus feet of Krishna, that is first class devotion. So let us take this meditation. I don't know how how you felt. Like, okay, I felt so much, very much connected with this devotee. And when I saw this lady, like, coming coming down, I was just contemplating that I may have few moments left in my life. I do not even know how much moments I have. But here is our chance, like, okay, how much best utilization we put into. Okay, we can just waste our time everywhere, like, okay. But if we just focus, okay, this is the only time I have. This is only my capacity. How can I make the best use of it? How can I please you, Krishna? That was the takeaway. Let us all take this message away. Let us all focus on this part. Let us all contemplate how we are doing currently, what we want to do, how do we want to utilize our time. Let's start planning for that, so that we all, and I know all of you are very sincerely, okay, so that we all together jointly, we are able to make progress. We are all able to come together, chant during the chant together and make progress. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Anyone has any question or any comments? And we can take it. Otherwise, we can close it here itself. Thank you all very much for your association. Because of your priceless association, we are able to, I am also able to glorify the Supreme Lord and His devotees. And I bow down at your lotus feet and offer my Dandot pranams. Hare Krishna. शिल प्रभुपाद की जय वंशा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्येव च पतितनां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय हरे कृष्णा any question or comments we have okay then we'll conclude it here thank you all very much hare krishna शिल प्रभुपाद की जय